Hola.
Hey.
What's up?
Divas,
How are we doing?
Divas and Roscoe's, welcome to the viewing party of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 8, bitch.
Ocho.
We're here again.
You guys doing okay? Yes?
Yeah, great week
Are we
so
enjoying
far.
the season so far? Yes? The fuck was that? I said, are we enjoying the season? Yes?
Yes.
Gorgeous. Well, I'm enjoying this one queen. I absolutely love and adore her on the show and off the show. Give it up for this ebony goddess. She's fucking Barbie. Give it up for the one and only Miss Kahanna Montrese.
Welcome, Diva.
Hi, Roscoe's.
I love that she walked in with a full-on cocktail.
They're serving in the alley,
Just
girl.
ready.
Let's get into it.
How are you, baby?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
I'm good. Congratulations. Work the World for Kahanna Montrese. Yes.
Word.
When do we start Work the World, my love?
Actually next week. So, I leave on Monday to start rehearsals and then going on tour, traveling the world. Here we go.
Yes.
This
God
is
is good.
This is exciting because you're used to being in Vegas every week doing the same kind of show. So now you get to take it on the tour. So we're excited to see what you do and
Thank you.
all the choreo bam bam.
Yes, honey. The stage is definitely like where I come alive. So I'm just glad that there's platforms like that for drag artists to do what we do.
We love that. In addition, this is our second time getting to work together, but is this your first time on the Roscoe stage here in Chicago?
This is my second.
Second time.
But
Okay, I love that.
we don't really count the first time because I was busted as hell.
It literally is like a whole new person.
Yeah. So we're going to say this is my first time.
first
Here
time.
we go with
Okay,
that.
here we go.
Give it up for Kahanna on her first time at Roscoe's.
Kahanna
Now,
2.0.
Speaking of first time, I know it's not your first time, but if it is, please push subscribe, YouTube. If it is that first time of yours, go ahead right now, push subscribe to our channel and watch us every single week because it's a kiki here. Are we ready for this shindig? Should we get this shindig started?
Yes.
I love saying shindig now because my manager thinks it's like ages me and he shakes his head no over there every time I say it because he used to say that all the time, I'm sure. Let's get
This how we're starting already?
Let's get this shindig started. Okay, we got a lot to cover before we get into what we saw, the challenge, the Roscoe and all that good stuff. Okay, so let's get into what happened last week.
Okay.
Right? So last week, we'll start with Heidi.
Okay.
Heidi leaving. Tell us about the energy in the room, what was going on, how did that transpire, and did you see it coming?
Oh, I felt like, yes, we definitely all saw it coming. We didn't know exactly when she was, but what y'all have to remember, she was already ready to leave. She had made it up in her mind a long time ago that she wasn't happy. So I think it just didn't help that tensions were high that episode. And yeah, she had to do what was best for her. I get that. But for me, I don't know. It was just like, who's like going, oh, girl, ooh. It was so much going on from, oh my gosh, just like, for me, the whole situation with me and Heidi was, I was like confiding in her before the challenge because I had a full breakdown. Like, I'm like, bitch, I can't do snatch game. I'm not funny. Okay, I'm doing the best I can, but I can't do it. She's like, girl, you got this.
Hey, where was that energy, bitch? That was good right there. That was everything.
I've been practicing.
Where was that? That was everything.
You're an actress, bitch.
So yeah,
Go ahead,
so
go
I
ahead.
was like, confiding in her, and I felt like, in that moment, she was just doing the best she could with trying to give energy, and I got that, but bitch, I was struggling. Girl, I didn't need any help to dig my hole, bitch. It was already dug by myself. So I think that's just where I was coming from, was just like, as a sister, I wanted you to still have my back. Like, yes, throw your jokes and stuff, but if you see that I'm down, don't go in on me. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I do realize, girl, it's a competition, so you gotta get it how you fit in, So I understand that too. But yeah, I mean, it just played out the way that it did.
Now, Kahanna, you voicing your concern for that really lit the match for one of the biggest workroom fires this season so far. Did you and Heidi get to resolve that, or y'all are good now?
We did, and they didn't show it.
Wow,
She
okay.
actually came back. So what was crazy is I didn't know all that stuff that was going down between her talking to Jimbo and all that. I didn't know any of that. And Candy told me, like, obviously a little bit of it, but I didn't know the full extent of what happened. So when I had talked to Heidi, it was crazy because when we were coming into the workroom to get ready, she had came to me and I'm like, sis, I just need a second. I need a second. Give me a minute. And then, of course, production knew that I was hot. They're like, Heidi, ask her what's wrong. And I just was like, oh, really? We're going to do this? So, that just kind of lit everything up, And if I was a match, then Candy was the gasoline, I guess.
It was good. It was really good. Now, were you really, really that upset when she was, because, Snatch Game, we'll see, like 5 minutes of it, 8 minutes, but it's longer. So was it a lot more than what we saw? Okay.
That was the tea it was just a little bit of what they showed, but she was going in on me. And that's why I'm telling you, I wouldn't have been upset if it was just what they showed. Like, girl, but it was way longer for one thing. But, like, she kept letting me have it. And I was like, bitch, I wanted to take that fucking map and throw it at her ass. I was like, girl, sis, I'm struggling, bitch. But, it was funny, like, watching it back. And I see how, all of that made great TV. So I don't regret it, bitch. It was good TV.
Let me ask you this. Now, you did make a comment last week. I think you were one of the girls that several girls made a comment that had Heidi stayed, the bottom possibly would have been different.
Possibly. We don't know that.
What do you think? Do you agree with that?
We don't know that, but what the energy was giving, I definitely thought that that's what it was going to be. And we all thought Jessica was safe that episode. So for me, it just was like, I understand, you got to do what's best for you. But it threw everything off. Because I'm like, bitch, I knew I was going home. And I was fully prepared. I was like, bitch, I suck the Snatch Game. I look like I got a sickening runway. I got this. But what I was not prepared was to be in there with Jessica. And I felt extremely bad for her. Because I'm like, y'all, she did really good in the challenge. And they didn't even show, like, her funny jokes. Like, she was really good. So I just didn't feel that, she deserved to be there. So that's why I felt as passionate as I did about that.
And on that note, even with Heidi leaving, did you and Jessica think that one of y'all was still going home?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yes,
okay.
And I fully prepared. I'm like, y'all, it's no tea. I get it. Jessica's my girl. She's been doing really good. It's okay. Like, we had all talked about it. I'm like, do what you need to do. I'm okay with it. I know, like, I sucked. So, bitch, it is what it is, I was happy with it. And I wasn't going to let her go over me. I wasn't going to let anybody be like, oh, well, Kahanna, we can pull the tracker. No, let's not do that. Let's do it the right way, y'all.
Okay, so fast forward to you seeing everyone pulling your lipsticks. Were you okay with that? It sounds like it.
I had already felt it, already knew. It was just like, girl, I would have pulled mine, but the tea is, I can't tell the producers I'm giving up. No, like, bitch, I'm here to fight. So I knew what it was.
Okay, now let's fast forward even more to the new challenge that's going on right now, picking parts. Mm-hmm. They basically auditioned for the role. You had Candy and Jessica audition, and those were definitely some vocals, for lack of that we got to hear from them two. I mean,
it was Beyonce, Mariah Carey.
Yeah, it was very that.
This isn't the first time we've seen them have to audition for roles, though.
No, it's happened before, right?
Yeah, it's happened before.
Season 13 got that started.
Oh, but this season. This is the first
season.
Yeah. Okay, so what did y'all feel like? What was giving?
No, tell us. Was the energy? Was it like, oh, we're gonna audition for this, or
no? So they didn't even show it, but the girls were like really going back and forth for a minute. Like, no, like Candy was very set on this is my role, and Jessica was like, ain't no way in hell I'm doing the country one. So they didn't really show, but at first Alexis wasn't happy with that role, and she was like, well, I'm gonna have to either do Wire Hanger or The Rock. So that was crazy. It got really intense, and I'm like, fuck all that. Y'all need to throw a coin, or y'all need to sing. But we're going to have to get to this because, bitch, somebody got to do it.
Well, since you brought up Alexis, let's just go back to the previous episode really quick.
It was so wild.
what went through your head? Like literally, what
Okay, let me go back
did
in
you
time.
think when she was like when she said, "Yeah, that's what you said," and then she's like, "Oh wait, no, that's not." What happened?
Let me tell you. Now, pay you mind, I'm still gagged because there's so much going on, right? So I'm like finding out all this tea. I'm like, you said that, and then you did that, and then Alexis, I'm like, oh, so you knew this whole time? And then when she first said yes, I'm like, oh, Candy was lying. There it is. There it is. And then when she like retracted, I'm like, oh, girl. Bitch, what Candy got over you? Is she like got a knife to your neck or something? Like, what's going on? It was giving very that.
It did, because Candy said, the way Candy said it was like, oh, that's what I said.
Yeah. Alexis
She's like,
no,
bitch,
girl, I
she
got no
looked
beef.
at her. She was like, that's what I said. And then
And Alexis like, no, girl, I ain't got no beef. I ain't say nothing, girl.
Yeah, it was very bitch. I'm from New York, and I will get you.
it was like, let me remind you what I got right here.
Yeah.
Let me
Right.
open up
That's
that
some
file
fierce ass
cabinet.
voodoo.
She went in that file cabinet real quick. Anyway, let's go back to the show. We were really interested in knowing how like the energy was with everyone else. Like, was everyone like, oh, Alexis is lying, or was everyone like, oh, Candy is lying?
Yeah. You know, in
Mikey,
that,
before you put it on,
in that moment, we were just so confused. We didn't know what was going on. But it definitely gave that. To me, I can't speak for nobody else, but for me, I was like, oh, girl, I don't know if I'm buying this.
Well, we all were sitting here like, holy shit. It was like watching a volleyball game.
Right.
Like, with the ball go back and forth. And then
But
finally
that's why
it
I wish
stopped.
Heidi would have stayed, because no tea, it really would have popped off.
Oh, that was
Girl,
good.
I know.
Yes, definitely. Heidi does watch us. Heidi should have stayed,
Hands
but we
down.
support your decision.
Absolutely.
Because anything that you need to do, whatever's best for you, and that's what was best for her at the time. So, we love you, Heidi, and let's go back to the show.
Okay. So we went on a little scavenger hunt with all the girls, and they found a note or two with Leland. And then they went to the dance challenge over there with Adam Shankman. Which did you prefer out of those, the singing or the dancing, Kahanna?
I was definitely struggling with both. So, but if I had to choose, probably the singing. That was fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
I
actually
didn't know
did
I
better.
could not sing.
You did better than most of the girls.
You know, actually, my part, it's crazy because, you know, they're like feeding you what you have to sing. So I'm like listening to it. I'm like, why do I have the vocals? Like, out of everybody, y'all gonna give me the singing track? Like, where I gotta actually sing? The rest of them, they were like just talking through and just like having fun with it. I'm like, oh, of course, I gotta actually sing. Oh. Yeah, it was hard.
So one of the things that I love about All Stars is like the challenge. They have that little peanut gallery that you can just watch and see
Yes.
how things like kind of transpire and the rehearsal.
It's the shadiest
performances.
thing.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so good.
Alexis and her leg up was everything.
Bitch.
That was hilarious. But
Like,
anyway,
this is how you do it.
yeah, she's like, oh, she can't, and she's like, anyway. Okay, who after watching everyone, who were you like, uh-oh, this queen is definitely in trouble?
In trouble, probably James and Alexis.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Alexis?
Alexis, it took her a minute to like really grasp it because it was a lot. It was a lot of fucking choreo. But James, it was just like, you could just tell I'm not in my element. Like, I gotta do this dancing. So I think that was probably it, but we'll see. Y'all see how he does.
And who did you feel was like, oh, this bitch, she's serving it? Jessica?
Like, no T, like from get-go, we were like, oh, she's gonna win. Hands down. Mama's in her element, she's doing it and having fun. And her number was like really high energy, so it was like waking us up, because bitch, we was tired as fucking that peanut gallery. We was going to sleep and everything. And Jessica came on, we were like, oh, bitch, this is everything.
I love that Jessica's like, she's like, oh my God, the director of this and that and Hairspray. I guarantee that bitch had no idea who that was. That is my friend, and I love her, and that bitch had no idea who that was. Did you know who that was?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, his body of work is absolutely incredible.
It's one of those. It's one of those that you don't know who they are, and then when you see them in person, you're like, oh, I got it. Now I know.
Yeah, I know him from So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah, he was the judge.
Yeah.
He's
there.
a judge.
He's
Yeah.
a judge,
Yes.
yeah.
But in that
And you would do
moment,
choreo.
in that moment with Jessica, with the ass and the axe, was she having fun? Did she understand what was going on, or did she feel like
No,
down because
she
of-
didn't know. Like, she was literally thinking she was saying it right. And we were like, yes, bitch, we want some ass too.
I told y'all Jessica loves them go-go boys, bitch.
Yes.
Bring me the ass!
I'm like, girl, you need to get some merch, bitch. Bring me the ass.
Boots, yes.
And also, I think it's the way it's spelled, because like in Spanish, I think it's like CKS, right? Is like makes the X sound, and then an X. I'm trying to think of a word that we would use with X. Who speaks Spanish here?
Well, how would you say xylophone?
X with X. No, yo sé que es X, pero dime una palabra con una X. I cannot think of a word except for like Xavier, Xavier, or something. I can't think of a word in Spanish with an X in it.
Got it.
What is it? Walk? Oaxaca.
Oh, the capital.
Oaxaca. And it's not, how is it spelled?
OX.
Oaxaca.
C.
See, but it's not pronounced the like, you get what I'm saying? So I think that's what she kept doing, because that's not what she would assume the pronunciation was.
Yeah,
which
the
is what she was
English
getting the
language is
S.
fucked.
Yeah.
Poor Jessica. Poor Jessica. My favorite part, though, was when Candy was going. Jessica wanted that part really bad. She was sitting there fully like, just so over it.
I just love when Candy's just like,
Well,
work.
that was the thing. Nobody thought that track was going to be good. And then Jessica gets it, and we're like, oh, she fucking turned it out. That's the track we should have got.
Work.
Work.
That's just, I'm going to do that all the time now. When everyone's super excited, I'm just going to do that real just down here.
Work.
Just dry as hell.
Work. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the show. Work.
Okay, so we had some workroom chat before we get to the Rusical. They were talking about a lot of things, but voting was included in that. So, Kahanna, we only unfortunately got to see you vote one time so far. If you were in the position to win tonight, would you base it on track record or maybe take out some strong competition? What are we feeling?
I think at this point, like I said, the girls definitely have history, or whoever had said that, for sure. But I don't know, this one, I probably would have just voted based off of what I saw. That's just me. I wouldn't have taken track record in consideration, because at that point, bitch, I've been in the bottom twice. Do I really want to take in track record? Nah. Because if I was in the bottom, y'all sending me out. So I'm just going to base it off of what I see. And I take it challenge by challenge.
Well, I want to take you up on that challenge, and I want to challenge you right now. Let's play a little game.
Oh, bitch, what is this, Saw?
We're going to
She's
play.
prepared for
We're
my
going to
ass.
play a little game. So,
Okay.
let's just say hypothetically right now,
Okay.
we have Candy and Jimbo in the bottom. Who are you voting to stay?
To stay?
Or whose lipstick are you grabbing to go? Whose lipstick are you grabbing?
I
Between
think,
Candy and Jimbo.
I think I would grab, honestly, the one who's like closest to me. So I would grab Candy's no tea, because I'm like, I want to make sure I completely stand out.
That's very
against-
political. That's very political.
No, it's the truth.
Lala Ree, Alexis Michelle. Whose lipstick are you grabbing?
Alexis.
Ooh! Oh, you see?
You didn't even think about that
Bitch,
one.
she didn't even think about that
about
one.
it.
No, wait.
She didn't even
Let me ask you this. Why so quick?
Why so quick? Because I love Lala, and I'm gonna protect my sis. Period.
So with
But aren't you
Jimbo
all
and
sisters?
Candy.
No, Lala is like family. How about that?
Oh, work.
Okay, I got one. Naysha Lopez or Jessica Wilde?
No, but that's not good because I'm already gone.
Okay, thank you.
I'm already gone.
There's the shit.
Wait, we're doing all the one that. So we got Jessica and James.
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 Yeah.
And then we have. Was that all of them?
This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 7.
Yeah, that's all of them, right? Yeah, that's all of them. Okay, so you couldn't decide between Candy and Jimbo. That's interesting.
Yeah, that would be a hard one. But I would pick Candy's just because, like, I don't know. I feel
Because
like
she's picked yours?
has she?
No, I'm kidding.
No. Jimbo's, matter of fact, I'm gonna pick
Last
Jimbo's
week-
because he actually did pick mine.
Well, last week they all kind of.
Okay, they all did.
But let me ask you this: how good did it feel that you're like, fuck, because you were kind of like already in your head, you're like, fuck, I'm gonna go home.
I'm going home.
And bitch, nobody went home.
Yeah, it was a blessing for me. I felt like it just kind of just renewed my spirit because I was so, I don't know, checked out at that point. And I don't know, it just made me just realize like, okay, bitch, Ru sees something in me, so let me just keep going. Let me just give it all I got, even if I'm not feeling it. Let me just show everybody that I deserve to be here. So it really just helped me. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Okay, well, I'm dying to see this musical because so far the last few musicals have been so good.
Yeah.
So
This
let's
better be good, bitch.
Yeah, I'm excited to
it's
see.
fire.
Really quick, I want everyone on the panel. Who do we think is going to do really well, and who do we think is not going to do so well? Just pick one. We'll
Y'all
start
can
with you.
even say me. I'm here, bitch.
We'll start with you, Caramel. Who do you think really good, really bad?
Really good. She's been acting all season. Alexis. Really bad. Lala Ree.
Okay, interesting.
Ooh, really good. Jimbo.
Oh wow.
Just because I have a feeling.
Okay.
She's really good at movies and stuff, and like she's been like I have a feeling this might be, and it's
Yeah.
an older character that Jimbo is very familiar with, and who might not do so well. I'm gonna say Kahanna, just because just because of previous and
Yeah.
your acting challenges.
Yeah.
That's he.
Kahanna?
That's fair. For me, based off before, I would say based off the rehearsal, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Off the rehearsal, it was Jimbo in the bottom.
Yeah.
Then in the top, Jessica.
That was my choice. I was thinking, based on what we saw from rehearsal, Jessica would do really well, and Jimbo would be in the bottom, or Candy, because Candy looked like she struggled a little bit from what we saw.
But this was
what I
literally
saw,
like the first rehearsal.
But and we know how it works. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go.
Let's see.
Let's see it. Okay, let's go. Roscoe.
Okay.
Did anyone get Heath Ledger, the Joker from Candy Muse?
Oh my God.
I swear to you, every time she was on screen, all I thought was of the Joker.
I can't unsee it now.
That's all I thought the whole
No,
time.
honestly, I thought Candy did exceptionally well, as
Yes.
well
Oh
as
my God,
Lala and
so
Alexis.
good.
So good.
So good. Yeah, okay. Tell me, how many times you guys do it?
3 times.
3 times?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shiza.
Yeah.
It was a lot. I guess because like camera angles and shit like that. But yeah, it was intense. But I had fun.
Yeah, I
This
have
was
to
so fucking fun.
First of
thank
all,
you.
you were so, yes.
It was so wonderful.
Thank you.
I mean, you looked so damn good up there.
Thank you.
I mean, you look like $1 million, yeah? Always, every time she steps out.
Okay, after you finish this,
Yes.
tell me that you felt confident because
I
you did
did.
so good.
I
You really, really did. So,
and that was the thing is like I knew I gave 100%. I was feeling it. I had fun with the character, and I felt like it was the first time that I really showed like my acting abilities in a sense, So I was really happy with that. I was happy with what I presented.
and you should have been, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. Okay, so this is where it starts to get challenging, right?
Yes.
Because I feel like in the bottom, it starts to get you're in the bottom by default. Because I can't really look at this and say this person was bad. Can any of you say that?
No, I can say that there were some parts that were less challenging than others.
Absolutely.
So I understand, like, maybe if somebody wasn't a dancer, they maybe got the part that wasn't a dancer and were maybe being walked on the stage, you know what I mean? But, I mean, I don't know. What do you feel?
I was whelmed by Jimbo's performance. It was whelming. Nothing. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like Candy, Lala, or Alexis for me. That's just my personal opinion.
What about you, Kahanna? What are you thinking?
I definitely felt like there was some roles that were catered to certain girls and like their personality and their aesthetic. So, of course, James is going to look phenomenal being him, So I felt like that was good, but at the same time, bitch, I knew my shit was hard. I knew some other girls had some real fucking hard choreography, some singing, like La La No Tea. Like, we really had hard roles. So, yeah.
And I guess that's probably the we don't know. I haven't watched the episode, but we don't know who's going to be in the bottom or whatnot or blah, 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 and what comes to that decision making, right? But for me, this is where I feel that the show makes a mistake, and I feel like everyone needs to be held to the same standard. Do you get what I'm saying? Because if you expect 5, 6, 7, 8 from Kahanna, you should expect it from Jimbo, and if Jimbo can't do it, then she needs to pay the consequences. Because I say this, at the Snatch Game, you're required to be funny, just like Jimbo was. and you're held to that standard, right? So that's the part where it gets a little challenging for me because I'm like, the standard kind of changes and shifts for certain people, and that is not the motherfucking tea.
But you know what? It was. I don't want to ruin it, but it was hard
No,
for me.
don't ruin it.
It was hard for me because I knew like this is nothing to do with me. This is nothing to do with
Absolutely.
me as an entertainer. This is TV. I had to step outside of that for a minute because I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. And I know I fucking gave 100 and 1,000. I did my thing. So it's like exactly what you just said. It's just like everything needs to be at the same standard if that's what we're doing, right? It's a
Right.
competition.
Yeah, because like,
Exactly.
even Alexis's part was so fast. I mean, I think she truly had the hardest part up there.
One of them.
Vocally,
yeah.
all the words challenging, but the choreography was this the whole time, girl.
I definitely think mine, I had the hardest choreography. And I'm like,
That's
I'm
not
not a
her
trained
fault.
dancer.
No, seriously. and you had a hard thing. You set the tone. You set the
opened the
bar
show.
for
Yeah.
the entire show. And it was long. Absolutely right. It was. You had a really big role.
2 minutes, girl.
Yeah, totally. But you could definitely see, like, Candy came out, there's dancers.
Yeah.
Jessica came out, there's dancers. Jimbo came out, there's a wheelchair.
She was old.
But you get what I'm... Anyway.
They picked the part.
Right.
But wait, before we go back, I want to say something. This is the first time I've ever seen a female dancer on the RuPaul's stage.
Yes.
Yeah?
Totally. Yeah.
I
We
was
need
like,
more
I was
of
like,
it.
who the fuck is that girl?
We need more of it. Honestly, we need to see trans on their
Yeah.
necks, like
Boots.
all types of dancers. No, see, there's more than just fine, beautiful men. You know?
Literally, Batty kept saying, she's like, who the fuck is that? Who's that girl?
I did. I was
They
like, who is
hired
this
her.
girl?
I do feel like they are finally being more like inclusive, you
Yeah.
know. So I love that.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
totally.
they should be, duh.
Let's go back to the show because I really want to see who's in the bottom so that we can really go in. In a good, give critiques and shit. Get into it.
Wowza.
I just want to feel myself the way Candy feels herself, bitch. Because the way she was just rocking, looking sickening, I live, bitch. I live. Okay. So we got
bitch.
we got the two people in the bottom. We have Kahanna and James. Okay. How were you feeling at this point when you get called in the bottom?
You know, it was crazy for me because I thought for sure I was either high or at least safe. I had no idea, so I was really shocked. I said, oh, okay. They got me, gal. they got me. But, I mean, if I'm being honest, I was not worried, to be honest, because I'm like, I know I was stronger. No tea, and I knew my runway was
It's
sickening.
no shade, yeah.
It's no shade, but I knew I was sickening. And the girls, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this. Production will do what production does. At the end of the day, it's TV, right? But we are all drag artists there, and we respect each other's talent and what we put forth. And I know the girls believe that I didn't deserve to be in the bottom. They were there. They were watching me work my ass off. And no tea, I slayed that motherfucking challenge. And can't nobody tell me different. I know.
Oh, absolutely.
I know. So I was not worried. I actually felt very secure. I'm like, I love you, James. It just is what it is. But at the same time, I was really going through it because I didn't even think I was in the bottom. Yeah.
Okay, so there was a brief moment of silence when they announced the winner as Candy Muse. Did y'all agree? Because the audience, I don't think they agreed as well.
The audience was so quiet.
Well, really quick, if it wasn't Candy, who was it?
Lala Slay too.
All right.
So
Lala Slay too.
Jessica.
Lala slayed. My only problem with Lala is that it was expected.
Okay.
It was expected. What Lala does, that's what Lala does. Like that, you get what I'm saying? Like I felt like that was a little bit more expected.
I expected more though from her.
And do you think the runway played
mattered.
a matter because they
At
were not
this
going to give her
point,
challenge
but I have
win.
to ask you, at this point, does runways really matter? Because
I feel
No,
like-
let me ask you.
it doesn't
bitch,
feel
you
like
were there.
Girl, I thought so when I was packing. Because if that was the case, if y'all was going to put me in the bottom, bitch, I would have brought leotards the whole time.
Okay, so what you're saying?
I would have spent $40,000.
Hello.
So what you're saying
You know-
is fuck the drag that you bring and go take an acting and a singing class.
Girl, I guess so.
Because the runway don't matter.
I guess so.
I think that was a deciding factor. You guys say Lala, you guys say Candy, you say and then it's like, okay, well then let's look at the runway. And I think that's when the runway matters.
And that's why I said I definitely shouldn't have been in the bottom. You
Right.
take my runway and you take my challenge. Bitch, hands down, I was in the top. I mean, if y'all don't feel it, you don't feel it. But I do.
Okay. And then,
Get 'em,
and then
bitch.
this is where I'm gonna keep it real.
Oh,
100.
here we go.
Speak.
When you have to think about because we have conversations, right? When we're
Yeah.
on the show,
Yeah.
we have conversations. We're mic'd. They hear everything that we say. But sometimes when we're gonna say certain things that we don't want production to hear, we start rubbing on the mic like this, so that you just hear like all of that.
Don't do that. They're earbuds.
And then you don't hear what we're saying.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
Yes. We're like, girl.
Oh my God, you guys, they're never going to watch us again.
I just broke my mic. No, I didn't. So we'll do this, right? So that they don't hear. And then someone will come and be like, hey, Naysha, stop doing that so we can hear. But anyway, so when they're talking, we pretty much tell each other, well, girl, I'm just going to do track record. Or, girl, I'm sending this bitch home. You know, like when we talk amongst ourselves, like whatever. So they know what we say and how we feeling and all that kind of shit, right? And when we go to put the lipstick in, they literally tell everyone to shut up. They won't not let you talk. They don't let us talk to each other. You're over there, that one's over there. It's like, no, you can't talk. No. Because they don't want us
But
to
bitch,
be
your
like...
sign language is strong.
You
and
better
the-
read
and
lips.
decisions have already been made. No, so my personal opinion,
Yeah.
that happened in this situation is that everyone was like track record. So they're like, well, if it's track record, we're gonna put Kahanna in the bottom because according to track
She
record,
has one win.
she
But
had.
I've been in the bottom
No, but
twice.
she's been in the
I've
bottom.
really...
No. I want you to finish what you're gonna say. Say what you're gonna
No,
say.
because I wanted to play out first, but I really
Let's
felt...
do
I
that
really
then.
felt like it just was not going to go with story.
Let's just
No,
go back
please.
and then let's go back to the show.
Uh-huh.
Let's watch it because then we can
And
say
then
more.
yes,
Then
because
we
I
can
don't want
talk
to ruin
more. We don't
it.
want to ruin stuff. We don't want to give things away. Let's just go back. We might have to edit that later. Actually, we don't edit. We just.
Oh my God, what's going to happen next week?
Yes, I live. Okay, I live. All right, wait, hold on. So
Okay.
we got to go back to the conversation that we were having because it's definitely relevant to what just happened. Okay, so we just saw James go home or get eliminated, I should say. Okay, so what we were talking about earlier. Do you want to go? Do you want me to go and then you want to piggyback? Like, what do you want to do?
Girl, I'm down. Let's
Okay.
do it. Let's get into it.
Sickening. So basically, what we were like talking about and discussing is, I don't think that because of track record, and since the very beginning, it's all been based on track record. Sometimes they'll put someone in the bottom knowing that you're going to vote the other one out because everyone has been talking about going with track record, right? So I think this happening was something that threw production for a loop because James was never in the bottom and she was in the bottom how many? Once?
Twice at that point.
At that point, she was in the bottom twice. So if we are voting according to track record, like everyone says and has been doing, then Kahanna would go home at this point,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So right now, I don't think they thought that everyone was going to vote James out.
No, they completely didn't think that. But I will say this. It started with Heidi leaving. I knew for a fact I was supposed to go home that episode. I knew it. So if I'm being honest with you, what I was saying about production earlier, I think I threw them because I was so good in the Rusical that they were like,
They're like, shit, what do we do now?
yeah, like, oh, we got to get this bitch out of here. Ugh. You know, and I felt it. I knew like what it was, but I was just happy to beat him one more episode, bitch. I said, yes, that's another motherfucking 1,000 on my booking fee. I'm here. I'm here.
But if we want to keep it cute, I think Candy made the right choice because, in my mind, drag conspiracy theory up
give
here.
it to us. I like it. I
they
live.
had to go through the whole episode because Jasmine was there. Rue just couldn't make that decision and not have everyone there finish the whole day out. So technically, you only have 2 bottoms and a win, where James has 2 bottoms and no wins. If we want to keep it cute.
Yeah. And I mean, a win is a win, bitch.
Yes.
At the end of the day, like, you can say what you want, but I slayed it. So, hello.
There's no.
You can't take that away from me.
Yeah, there's no way to discredit that. Yeah, not at all.
Thank you.
And it's so funny that you said what you said. I'm glad that you said it, and I'm going to ask you this question because
Okay.
last week I said some things, and then the comment that I got, or the question that I got the most, or backlash I should even say, is like, then why the fuck you do this? Why you go? Why do you go? Why do you go? Why do you do it? If production does it, why do you do it? Why do you do it? And I hated it because I'm like, these are people who don't watch the whole fucking video because I literally said, it's what you just said right now. It's that we want to throw production for a loop, right? You want to be so good that you disturb.
They might not have seen it for me before, but you're gonna see me now.
Absolutely.
I'm here, and I'm showing you who I am. So absolutely, for me, I knew going into it, bitch, I'm not an actor. I knew, but they called me. So you would be a fool to say no. You know what I mean? I knew, like, okay, at the same time, I may not be that, but I'm not the girl I was on season 11, and y'all deserve to see me. So I am going to go back, and I'm going to slay every time I get a chance. And if I don't, bitch, I'm there. What you going to do?
You still got a check.
Exactly.
Still cash the check.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, they call James being out. You kind of expected it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're feeling good at this point, yeah.
Yeah, we all knew what was going down. No tea. It was not a shock to anybody, and I love my sister. I really do. I really, really, really do. But at the same time, it was just like, we knew what it was. And I feel like it wasn't even track record. It was just, bitch, Kahanna didn't deserve to be in the bottom. She slayed. We gonna save her. That's what it was.
And and I asked all of you, wouldn't it be kind of challenging to send someone home after they've done such an amazing performance? You were so great that I wouldn't be able to justify whether you were in the bottom 3 times before. It didn't matter to me. I'm like, after seeing that performance, I would have a hard time.
But I think that's just where, like, everybody's going to vote how they want to. Yeah. And Jessica said it best. Like,
absolutely.
I'm going to vote how I want to, and that's just how I feel. That's how it should be. Like, track record aside, if I don't think you killed it, I'm probably going to pick your lipstick. That's just me. You know.
That's how it should be, though, don't you think? I mean, like, when you guys started, they had this little alliance that was created and whatnot, and I was like, that's kind of something that, you know, in the end can really bite you in the ass, and we saw it happen.
Yeah.
And so now I feel like you were put in this position, and what was done is what.
Let me tell you, I went with the whole track record thing because it was saving me. So I said, yes, girl, track record. Yes, let's go with that. Yes.
Let me ask you this: did you have an alliance with Candy?
Oh, girl, there were so many alliances going down. When I tell y'all, there was an alliance within an alliance within an alliance. I didn't know the original alliance was Jimbo, Heidi, and Candy. But the alliance I was in, because they had came to me, was me, Lala, Candy, and Heidi. So I didn't even know that there was a whole nother alliance within ours. I'm like, oh, so y'all was just gonna just exit out one by one, huh?
Well, then there's one more. There's Alexis and Candy.
Alexis and Candy, and then Jessica.
Also, Lala Lala has one with somebody by themselves. Just them
Heidi.
two.
It was Heidi.
Lala and Heidi had their own little gig going on.
Yes, I was like, oh my, watching it, I was dying laughing because I didn't realize how many fucking alliances it was.
Well, speaking of Alexis, does it seem like they're not giving her the credit? Because this is now another time where she's performed high, and it's just, you're safe. No critiques, no nothing.
No, she deserved to be safe.
Okay, good to hear. It was a safe performance that week.
It was safe. It was giving. It was cute, but it was safe.
She didn't get a win tonight, but she's definitely going to get the Emmy.
No, I feel like No Tea, Candy, she deserved her win. Like, no shade. Alexis was great, but Candy, she deserved it.
And I mean, the production value of it, you can see who was really going to turn it because They would add the dancers to it. Then there was more choreo. And I mean, Lala, Candy, and Kahanna were the three that, for me, like really performed in this one. My favorites. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna go right back. We're gonna go into Untucked and start Untucked, and then after Untucked, we will do some Q&A. So get your questions ready. But let's go ahead and get into Untucked.
I wish he was here because that's
Okay.
one of the scariest things to probably say on
What?
like
Oh, to be feeling
to
defeated.
feel defeated.
Yeah,
I mean,
because you don't want to let
People
them
see,
know
yeah.
that you're feeling that. But yeah, that sucks. But she kind of went to the restroom really quick. So just want to remind you guys that next week we have Brooklyn Heights in the house. And Bibi Sahara Benet will be here as well. Bibi, yay.
I just found out she's releasing a single that day.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, work. Sickening. No, wait. Work. Okay. No, I will not be here next week. Next week, I'll be in Rhode Island working
What
a
the hell's
gig.
in Rhode Island, girl?
Girl, I don't know, a gig. A coin, girl. No, so yeah, so I will be out next week. You know how the internet, they get real excited. What's going on? Why is this person gone? Da-da-da-da.
Yeah,
And you know,
yeah.
I talk a lot of shit, so right away they think, oh, girl, she's gone. They replaced her.
They've chopped the bitch.
No,
No.
bitch. I just got another little gig. I will be back. I promise I'll be back in
gotta
2
make
weeks.
that coin.
Yeah, gotta make that coin. We were just talking about that we just saw on Untucked that you were like, you know what? This is the third time. I'm feeling defeated. And we're like, that had to be hard to say because you don't want anyone to know that you're feeling defeated. Is that
Yeah.
what you were feeling? Like, tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, in that moment, I was definitely going through it, and I feel like the girls knew exactly where I was coming from because, like I said, we all thought I did good in the challenge. And so for me, it was just like, this is the third time I'm in the bottom, and this is not only something I'm in the bottom, but something I do really good. Like, I'm a performer, and y'all put me in the bottom for this. Like,
Yeah, well, and you keep saying, well, I thought I did really good. No, you did. You
Thank
did
you.
good. You did.
Thank
you did.
you. You did very well.
You did amazing. It's not that you thought, because I don't give a fuck, bottom or not, you were amazing.
Thank
so,
you.
yeah, it's just one of those things, girl.
yeah. It was real emotions. I was really like going through it because I'm just like, I can understand the acting. You got me there. Got it. But you mean something that I do day in, day out, like 5 days a week, and I'm in the bottom for something that I know I'm really great at. So that's the thing with Drag Race though. It will shake you up. Just when you think like, oh bitch, I got this, you in the bottom.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't. And that was a wake-up call for me.
Well, I definitely want you guys to have the opportunity to do Q&A with Kahanna. So let's go ahead and get right back into Untucked.
I love Angeria.
I love her too, my goodness.
She's the best energy. All right, so James was pleading their case to Candy, and that just went right through her. And
Candy
over.
already made up her mind.
Her mind was already made up for the whole shebang, yeah?
Did you feel like that on set? She's like, oh, bitch, I know you ain't sending
I
me.
felt it from everybody. Like, no, see, everybody was like, I was like, damn, just like that? Like, I don't got to plead or nothing?
But was
Okay.
everybody kind of like, were you guys like nodding? Like you were saying, like, you know, like, okay, girl, like, this is the plan.
It was like, okay,
Okay.
I didn't see that, but they were like, you're good. And I think, but like I said before, it was just because nobody thought I was in the bottom that episode. So it was really easy for the girls to, make that decision. And I don't think it was anything to do with James being a threat. I don't think that was a thing. I don't think that.
Do you wanna
I don't
look
think
right
anybody
there?
was.
Do you wanna
thinking
look
that
right there and say it?
as talented as she is, I don't think that was going through anybody's mind.
Okay, well, speaking of talented threats, you got to go up against one of the lip sync assassins, Aja LaBeija.
Yeah.
How was that for you in that moment?
Oh
It
my
was
God.
sickening to watch, Diva.
Oh my God, it was so much fun. I was like, oh, bitch, of course they're gonna bring the most sickening fucking performer to slay my ass. But I had so much fun, and I felt like we both like matched energy. You know, so I had a good time.
And then when y'all got to see Jimbo lip sync each week, were you excited because you're like, we get more money next week, girls? Yes.
Yes. And then I was just like, okay, so when is she gonna win? When is she gonna win? So each time we were actually like cheering her on because we were waiting for her win. So yeah, it was funny.
I guess we'll be waiting.
But Jimbo's...
She's gonna come here and whoop your ass.
Listen, Jimbo is... I had only been acquainted with Jimbo. When I met her on here, I fell in love with Jimbo. Jimbo's fucking awesome. I mean, to the point where that second week where I get eliminated and she's doing hers, she was right. She's asking for like, so should I do this or should I do that? Like, she's just so humble about it and so cute, and she's just like, she's really awesome.
Though, in this Rusical, her dancing was really good though.
Oh, she was good.
That was the best she's ever like moved on stage to me. So I liked it.
Meanwhile,
that was no shade. She really did good.
Meanwhile, she was in a wheelchair half the time.
No,
Naysha, you didn't have to
choreo.
say that.
Y'all didn't see that. She was killing it. I liked it. I genuinely liked it. I thought it was good.
You are definitely in your congenial era. Let's go ahead and go back to the show.
You didn't like it?
No, I loved it. And listen, we know what she's capable of, and that was a lot for Jimbo, right? Yeah. So yeah.
Naysha, stop it. Let's go back.
No. That wasn't even a read. She even knows it, girl. Work. Work. Okay. Okay, sickening. Yes. Okay. So we just saw. Give it up for James. Give it up for James.
Yes. Now entering the fame
we'll get to
games.
see her in the fame game, though. So that's pretty awesome. Now, okay. So James has sashayed away. You're still in the game. How are you feeling? You super excited or what?
Yeah, I'm feeling super excited. Definitely, ready to like slay the next challenge. So I'm excited that I have another week to be on TV and like do my thing. So, yeah.
Let me ask you this, because you did say earlier you were like, I was supposed to go home this episode.
Yeah.
A previous
game.
episode.
Yeah.
So, do you feel that was fucking with your game?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely, because let me tell you, when you go home, the episode you go home, did you feel that?
Absolutely. And I even felt, listen, if there's someone that you got to go follow and give love to, and it is Monica Beverly Hills,
Yes.
please go ahead and do
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Follow her, give her love, because there was a certain part that they went up to, they were both of us, and then they're just like, hey, Monica and Naysha, we need you to talk more so you can get more camera time. And I said, well, there's 11, 12 more episodes. Why the fuck you so worried about that right now? And me and Monica just kind of looked at each other.
You knew.
And Monica especially. So then, and Monica cannot hide anything. It all shows right here. And Monica was just like, can we get you? She's like, because she already felt it.
Yeah.
Like she knew it. So yeah.
I was going through that, but also like I knew I did bad in the challenge, so I took all of that into consideration. So I was just like, okay, this is what it's gonna be. I'm okay, bitch. I went further than my original season. I was happy with it. I was so happy. But when it didn't happen, I could definitely feel like, all right, now they're really gonna be having a target on my back. So yeah, it was hard.
I'm gonna give you a little tea about this runway that we just did. And I'm gonna give a little disclaimer too, because if I get a call from production telling me that I can't do this anymore or I can't say this or that, it's not because of Roscoe. It's because of that little idiot from overseas that will put these damn clickbaits and will say, Naysha says whatever, but he puts it in the most like, it's clickbait basically. And then what he does is he says, so Naysha says A, B, C, D, and F. And then Kahanna said A, B, C, D, and F. And goes through this whole thing. It's like, it's the weirdest thing. And I'm all for everyone making their coin and doing that, but the clickbait shit, I'm over it. And if he keeps doing it, I'm gonna figure something out. We gotta.
You
figure
gonna
something
fly
out.
and get him, bitch?
I gotta figure some shit out.
It is a recap of what we do here.
Literally, it's a recap of a recap. That's
Yeah.
what he does, and it's the only thing he does. If we didn't exist, he would not have anything going on.
I love it.
But anyway, It's
There's
annoying.
a couple of them, bitch.
Yeah, but there's one in particular that's irking me, and he knows. But anyway, the T, and I know it's gonna come up. You're like, Naysha, Grace Jones runway. Anyway, this runway, and she knows this. Because of the Madonna fiasco, you guys remember there were like 5 or 6 kimonos. So they want to avoid that now. So they want you to submit the look. But the photo that they're going to show are Getty images. Are you guys familiar with Getty images? Okay, so it has to be an image that Getty has because they can pay for the image and then they can go ahead and show it on the screen just like they did the split screen. So you have to find something that Grace Jones wore but that Getty Images photographed.
Yeah, because my actual runway was based off of a photo shoot that she did, and it was roses, but then they didn't approve that image. So I'm like, well, I'm still gonna do the look because I loved it. But she had like another look that was similar to it that she did in a concert, and
that's what they showed.
Yeah,
see? And so you had to do that. So I, mind you, I said I had 2 weeks to get ready. It was like 16 days, I think it was. I calculated. Gosh. You know, I went and I looked and whatever. But so basically the 2 weeks, and they're like, one of the runways is this. And I'm like, okay. They're like, you have to find an image. So I submitted an image. And they're like, no, somebody has that. And then I submitted another one. And they're like, no, somebody has that. And they're like, honestly, we have one person who has 4 looks right now, and they're trying to decide. They gave me 2 weeks, and now they're making me wait for one queen while she's holding up 4 different looks to pick my look. That's the problem that I have with production. That's what pisses me off. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like, that's some shady shit right there. So then, not only do I have 2 weeks, but I'm not making it. The designer's making it. And he's like, what about this one? I'm like, well, I don't even like that one. So, but it's funny because I had Jessica's, we submitted Jessica's look. That was one of the ones which Jessica had, obviously. And then we submitted Candy's look too, which Candy already had. And then we submitted another one. They're like, okay, well, actually, they're holding up these 4. So as soon as they're released, we'll let you know. And it was so funny, the producer that was telling me this, even she felt bad about it because she was like, this doesn't really sound fair.
It's not fair at all.
And so she's like, listen, I promise I'll let you know within like the next 24 hours.
I just have to say, shout out to you because we all, I believe, had like 3 or 4 weeks, something like that. And you fucking turned it out in 2 weeks. Like, y'all, I don't think y'all realize how sickening that is. Bitch, I had stuff coming in the week of, and I was freaking out. I couldn't imagine doing that in 2 weeks. And that just shows like how sickening and amazing you are as a queen. You're so professional and you're so talented. I don't ever want you to feel less than, because what you did, half the cast couldn't have done. Period. Period.
I appreciate
Naysha,
that.
let me ask you this.
And shout out to Jeffrey Kelly, Joshua Pote, and Monique V, which are the 3 designers that I worked with. And they're the ones that, like, amongst the 4 of us decided who was doing what. And shout out to them. Without them, I would have said no. I wouldn't do it because they were everything.
They came through.
Yeah, they did. They really
you
did.
came through.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Did you see your looks? Did the girls have them?
Did I? What do you mean?
Other than Jessica? Like the 4 that you
Oh, yeah.
were held up.
Did you see
'Cause
the look that you
no,
wanted?
I saw.
See them?
No, I only saw 2 of them.
Okay.
I only saw
Okay.
2 of the looks. Yeah, and then with mine, that would be the 3rd one. You know, but I only saw 2 of the looks. Yeah, but I don't know who was holding up.
doing- yeah.
Oh, and Alexis.
Sorry,
oh,
it
yeah.
was me, girl.
Yeah. and Kahanna's like, well, actually. No, but yeah, I saw Alexis's look too. That was I submitted that one as well. That hat was stunning.
Yeah.
That hat was so
I really
stunning,
like
and
Jimbo's
the work,
rhinestone moment. That
it was
was-
so
that was cool.
beautiful. It was so
Everything.
beautiful. Yeah. And Kasha Davis. How fierce is Kasha?
Yes.
Okay.
So unexpected. It was just like
I
all
felt
that
like,
ass.
honestly, the girls who were in the fame game, they had better looks than some of us did. It was fierce. Like, Kasha turned it out. Darian looked incredible, and yours was very well put together.
Thank you. All right, so let's do Q&A, shall we? Shall we do some Q&A?
Let's get
so, audience, if
into
you
it.
have some questions, we will be more than happy to ask them. We'll take a few of them. And
Just stand up. I'll walk over to
also,
you.
YouTube, we love to hear where you're from. So in comments, make sure you let us know where you are from. Shout outs will be coming soon. So let us know where you're watching from.
All right. And what is your name, babe?
So my name is Peter. I'm from Chicago originally, but live in Seattle now.
Who's your question for, or what's your question?
So my question is for Kahanna. So I saw you about a year or two back in Las Vegas, and we loved the show. My question is, how does that process work? Like, did you have to audition for that show? How did you get the opportunity to perform?
For Vegas Live?
Yes. RuPaul's.
Oh my gosh! So that happened, like right during right before the pandemic, actually, and they had picked the cast out, but they were still looking for fill-ins, and being there, it was just easy for them to call me. But originally, I was only supposed to do one track, and then when I finally learned Evie's track, it was Evie. I was just filling in for Evie. They were like, "Bitch, like you're good. Can you do Vanjie's, this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I would love to." So it really opened. I honestly believe it was Drag Race Live that got me on All Stars. From them seeing like how my transformation was and just how good like I was on stage. So yeah, that was everything for me. And filling in, and now I'm in full time. So
Hello.
God is good, honey.
Yes. Can you also, because I want them to know this, can you explain how it works because you have the girls that are in the show.
Yes.
And then what is your position?
I was a fill-in at
Just
the time.
fill in. So it's fill in. Okay. So what you guys don't understand is you guys have to learn
The
more
entire
than
show.
the whole show.
It's not just one number. So now, at the time, it was one girl per cast member. So one fill-in per cast member. But then it just ended up becoming everybody needs to know the whole show. So it was a lot. But like I said, it really helped me grow as an artist because I was stuck in one box. I just wanted to be fish. I just wanted to be sex. But when I had to learn Evie's number, I was really pushing myself to be like more creative. And I definitely think that helped me grow as an entertainer. So I loved it.
I mean, that's fierce. Imagine coming in and they're like, today you're filling in for Evie.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you're filling in
Name
for
me
Vanessa.
Smalls, yeah.
Tomorrow you're filling in for Jada. So she has to learn every single one of those.
Yeah. I learned like 8-9 tracks in the show over the course of 3 years.
Fierce. Make some noise for that. Yes.
All right, we got one right here. Hi.
In the spirit of honoring our drag elders for Pride, I want to know your favorite takeaway from your drag elder, specifically Kahanna, but any of you can extrapolate.
Ooh.
Work. Extrapolate. I live. She gave us a
For me,
vocabulary
okay,
lesson
I
too,
live.
bitch.
If I did
I
take
live.
anything, Coco, I don't know if you guys know Kahanna Montrese is my drag mother. And I love her. Yes, we love her. Chicago.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Legend. The biggest takeaway I got from her is just like the professionalism. When I started, bitch, I was like, I'll show up when I show up. If they call me, they call me. But she actually taught me to take this serious. She was like, okay, either you're gonna do it for fun or this is gonna be a career. And she was like, you decide, because then that's how I'll treat you. I'll treat you as the girl who wants to have fun or the girl who's gonna follow in my footsteps. And so I knew I wanted to definitely be like in this business, and she was someone I looked up to, so I took it serious and I like really took in her advice. So yeah,
And
Coco,
she
she's
wasn't
a true
joking,
professional.
bitch.
And I was not joking, bitch. Yes.
Does anyone know Lady Taj Mahal?
Yeah.
She's Jada, Dita, myself. Like, she's the closest thing that I had to a drag mom.
Kimora Hall.
And Kimora Hall, yes. And it was the same thing with her. Her approach to it was like, you have to value yourself and what you do. And when you find that value and you say, it's this much, you have to give that as well, which means you have to show up on time. You have to have costumes. They have to be clean. You have to do good music. You have to know your audience. There's so much more to it, but that's who I got it from. Lady Taj Mahal, may she rest in peace. It was that professionalism and knowing your worth, for sure.
Absolutely.
While we get our next question, did you get any other help from any other Vegas girls while getting ready for the All-Star season?
I was really kind of quiet about it. The only people I really reached out to was Silky and Akiria, and they actually helped make my Grace Jones look.
Okay.
They came literally 3 days before I left and was going through my stuff, making sure like, oh girl, take that out, you don't need that. And then like helping me pack, just making sure I was in good spirits mostly. That was why they came down, but they ended up making that look for me, so it worked out.
Yes, right over here. What's our name?
Hi, I'm Juan. I have a question for you. With a show that is so big and everybody knows about it, how do you like separate your self-worth from your art and your craft to like keep yourself sane during the process?
Ooh,
Good question.
That is a good question. This is definitely new for me for sure because the first time around it was nothing like this. Like even with traveling more and seeing fans, I'm just taking it all in the best way I can. This is new, but I think the best thing is just being grateful and being in this constant state of just gratitude. That has helped me. No tea. Just being like, I didn't have this opportunity last year. I didn't have this opportunity on season 11. These people are here to see me and like support me, so that's what keeps me grounded.
All right, we got a question right here.
First of all, I want to weaponize my BFA and say that you definitely won this week. So the fact that you're like in the bottom is egregious. That's
you.
crazy to me and just
thank
wild.
you.
I know you're a big fan of Beyonce.
Yes.
So like, what are other like style references that you will go back to when you're deciding what you look like?
Ooh, I'm sorry. Can you say that last part again? Styling references?
When you're like looking for like, oh, this is what I want to look like tonight. Like what other style references do you look for?
Honestly, I just kind of go with the flow, like what I'm feeling. I definitely, I'm a body queen, so I love giving that. But it really just depends on the vibe. Like, of course, I love Beyonce, but sometimes I want to throw on a sexy gown and give Mariah tease, It just really depends.
Decent amount. Our next question's right over here, babe. What's your name?
My name is Javis Quinceañeras.
Come on, first and last.
Okay,
Kahanna. Hi, Chicago.
Did y'all really think his last name is Quinceañera?
That's my business name, but I had to put it out there. But tonight, me and Kahanna had something else planned. But on our way here, she was extremely freaking out on the way that you guys were gonna react to the show, how you guys were gonna perceive how she performed and how she did that. And I hope tonight, sister, you took it all in, and just to remind yourself that you are a star. You're a beautiful person inside and out. And don't ever forget that at the end of the day, you have a crown, and his name is Elegua. And I personally, on behalf of Kahanna, want to thank you guys for all the applauses you guys gave her. It was very heartwarming to see that, and I love you.
Very sweet.
Oh, that was one of her really, really close friends. That's very kind.
I love you so much. Thank you for everything.
And shame on you for thinking we're gonna think otherwise. How could you think that? That was so good.
What?
You were amazing, girl. You were absolutely amazing.
But it's just like, I don't know. Some people, they go based off what the judges say or, what
Not
is
here.
shown. And I really appreciate like people just like, you like what you like. And it means a lot that y'all felt me.
Listen, if there was one place where they keep it real, it's here at Roscoe's.
Boom shakalaka.
And the energy is absolutely everything and amazing. And you will see it at 10:30 p.m. because we will all be performing at 10:30 p.m. So make sure you stick around for that.
We got time for one more question right over here. What is your name, gorgeous?
Jeff from Chicago.
Okay. What was our question?
So it's kind of like a two-parter.
Okay.
The way that Candy basically voted the way that she did and eliminated the queen that she did, do you think it's gonna affect the way that it goes forward? And the second part is being like a production favorite and a fan favorite. If they vote the same way that she did, do you think that's gonna put more of a target on her back? If that makes sense.
You're gonna have to wait till next week.
Yeah, that
That's what I'm
question
gonna suggest.
is a little it gives.
The second one, I can't really answer that. I don't know exactly what you're asking. But the first part, I definitely think it changed the way that the voting is gonna go because now it's top 6. Ain't nobody taking in no track record. It's either gonna be your competition and I need you out because I'm close to the crown, or it's gonna be I just want you gone. It's like that's just what it is. Yeah.
I think that's what it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be kind of like a free for all, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it definitely
kinda
changed things.
decide, right? Because everyone at this point is strong and whatnot.
And another thing, there's still an alliance, so you have to take that into consideration too. It's like so many factors in how people are gonna play their game.
There was clearly an alliance. That's what I was asking because you're still here. Not that you don't deserve to be here, but you could. That's why I asked you, what were you guys doing for the room to read what was about to happen?
Girl, we were just like, it wasn't even like we're gonna pull the alliance card or anything like. It was just like, girl, you're good.
Let me ask you this: did James feel a certain way? Did she think that she was going to be going home?
No, she thought I was.
Okay.
Yeah. She made it very clear on TV too.
Sometimes they get backstage.
No,
and
she definitely, and I could see it. I could feel it from her. It was like, "You're okay, sister. You're fine. Like you did really good." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So did you? You know.
We had another question just pop up over here. What's our name?
Hi, ladies. I'm RJ.
Hi.
Kahana, that lip. Come on. It's everything.
Hypnotizing.
My question is more for...
We're okay? Watch your step.
Are you okay?
All right. Yes, just the pride's hurt. We're good. She's okay. All right.
Oh, shit.
All right. Our question once again for Kahanna.
Fucked up part is you could watch that over
Take
again.
that out.
Work. So my question is for our Chicago Queens. So with, of course, the exception of this season of All Stars, I have noticed, I feel like compared to maybe other big cities,
Wait, hold on. Guys, let's gather ourselves.
Get it out. Get it out.
Just get it. Let's gather ourselves and get it together. She's all right, everyone. She's all right. Okay. So sorry. Let's get to your question now. Start all over because no one was paying attention.
So I'm RJ, she fell, I was like work, and then lip, amazing.
Thank you.
And then I was gonna ask our Chicago Queens, so with the exception of this All-Star season, of course, I feel like I at least have noticed a kind of a lack of Chicago representation on Drag Race. We have people that, of course, can claim Chicago, like Willow, like Sasha Colby, 2 winners, mind you. But I'm interested.
I love for the subtle shade. I live.
I'm interested to hear why you think that is. Why do we not have more Chicago girls on the biggest stage for drag in the world?
All right.
We just have an audition.
Who wants to start?
That's what I was just going to say. I know that it seems like everyone wants to do this show. And if you're a drag queen, you're like, oh, my God, I want to be on RuPaul's Drag Race. That is not the case. It is absolutely not the case. We said it before. I believe in myself. She believes in herself. We go in there and we're like, we're going to break the mold. I'm going to win it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you still go knowing exactly what you're getting into, right? Some people do not want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with the reality aspect. When you sign this contract, it literally says, you literally have to go to an evaluation that says, if we paint you to be a bad person, you have to be able to handle this. Some people can't handle that, and they don't want to be a part of it.
You have to remember, when you do a TV show like Drag Race, you are an actor first, then
TV
a drag
show
queen. And for me, that was a shock. I was like, oh, bitch, everything's acting. Yeah, because it's TV. It's TV. So, yeah, I feel like a lot of people, even though they're sickening as a queen, it's a lot more than just being pretty. It's a lot more than just having sickening looks. So for some people, they don't want to do that, you know? It's more to it.
And in Chicago, I just don't think they're auditioning. I don't think they're getting all these girls. I don't think all these girls are auditioning, to be honest.
You'd be surprised. Your favorites probably have not even put a tape in.
And
would make it if they did.
And out of respect of working with the queens and entertainers here in this city, maybe in the last 3 years they weren't auditioning, but I'm sorry, before the last 3 years they weren't auditioning. The last 3 years they've been going hard.
Good.
They've been going so hard.
Good.
So I do not know why we haven't been picked. I'm going to blame Naysha, but that's...
Okay. But you know, sometimes it just
Everybody
takes
does.
a minute. It just takes a minute. That's just...
No, you know what? And to be honest with you, their experience has been with New York queens.
Yeah.
And that's what they are very, when they find something and it works, you're going to see it 3-4
But
times
you think
on
about
here.
it, New York is really big on the acting.
And, yeah, and it's really big on the drama and all of that. And they, here in Chicago, I feel like a lot of the queens, they're super talented, but they really know how to put a motherfucking look together.
They really
and come up with a concept. And in New
can
York,
slay the stage.
New York, these bitches are hilarious and super creative. The music, the mixes they come up with, and the things they put together.
One woman show.
It's very right, because over there in New York, also, good point. In New York, it's not like here. Here you have a drag show with 6 or 7 queens in the show.
Yeah.
In New York, you got 2 hours and it's just you.
Yeah. Which
It's
I feel
just
like
you.
builds your stage presence. It just makes everything about you even that more sickening. So they get to a show like Drag Race where they have to share and they can command the stage. They can command the room because that's what they do.
But let's hope that changes and there's more Chicago representation.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah. Local talent.
She said it. We can't be on the show because of Naysha.
You know, they always ask for recommendations, and I always make sure not to recommend.
Well, me and Batty said
They know we're going to be some real ass bitches on that TV. They thought Candy was something. They not ready for Patricia, bitch.
we said we'll audition and we'll put in the video. We don't care how far we go as long as we make it to episode 3.
That, listen. That is a subtle read to me, and that's perfectly fine. Look at it, who it's coming from, someone who's still auditioning. So you keep auditioning, boo.
Timestamp this moment right here, y'all.
And then you could talk, okay? Make it to the show first.
She's talking to you, bitch, not me.
Actually, Batty has not auditioned, right? Batty has not auditioned. Caramel, on the other hand, several attempts.
Why you gotta read the girl like that?
Audition, and they have yet to see the talent that she possesses. So hopefully,
Oh my God.
hopefully one day they can see past the. I'm gonna stop.
Make
And
some
on
noise.
that- and on
Make
that
some
note-
noise for Penny Proud.
You should know better to try it with me because I will come back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our very special, gorgeous body, beautiful guest, Kahanna Montrese!
Yeah.
Thank y'all for having me. That's so
Don't
much
forget
fun.
to stick around at 10:30. We will have performances from all the divas here on the stage. And join us next week. Naysha will have the week off, but we are inviting Brooklyn Heights and Bibi Zahara Benet.
Cameroon! What?
What's your name, bitch?
Oh, if you guys enjoyed me, my name is Batty Davis. If you didn't, it's Naysha Lopez.
I'm your bearded bestie, Caramel DeVille.
And Batty Davis wishes her name was Naysha Lopez. Have a good night!
Thank you guys. We love you.
Bye,
Don't forget to
YouTube.
subscribe if you haven't already done so. And scene. All right.
Work.
But is the girl okay? Yeah, I need to go find her.
Play Alicia Keys Fallen.